Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. That was a really awkward cut. Hope you're doing well. How is everyone? Welcome to this. You can kind of tell by the background. It is my birthday today, and I just want to do a stream just as a basic. Is it working? Should be working. There is a bit of a delay on my end, so if I seem a bit behind the chat, it's just because of the latency. It's probably best for my internet, to be honest. But I hope you're all doing well. We're going to do some brief talk about the Barbie TARDIS. Surprisingly, you have the same birthday as me. Happy birthday to you as well, then. Happy birthday, you nerd. Thank you. I'm working on my birthday, technically, kind of. So, really, you've got to respect that. Barbie, Barbie TARDIS, my god. Theories? I mean, Barbie theories. Barbie theories. That would be interesting. Happy birthday, Theories. As it's your birthday, I won't insult you for not knowing how to schedule a screen. Listen, okay? At least with this one, I started with sound. Surely, Harry, right, you fudge punch, you make it tell me your money. It's his birthday. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. That's not the message. You're no longer a teenager. No. I'm officially an adult. Scary times. Scary times. Yeah, it's kind of mad. I'm officially the age of the Five Doctors when that came out. Well, it's not the age of the Five Doctors in the episode. The age Doctor Who was when Five Doctors came out, which is kind of mad. So yeah, basically this stream is going to be a relatively chill one because I've covered the majority of the news I wanted to cover in the previous stream, and I don't think there's been a ton more, but there has been a few other things that have come out over the last 24 hours or so. So I might as well go over that. Uh, Someone said "Blue don't suck." I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Uh, you can celebrate your birthday late with Barbie. Very true. Barbie Theories comes with only blue Adidas shirt as clothing. Yeah, honestly, it's mad. I didn't even plan to wear this today, and I took the picture and realized I had it on. It's basically like, in Spider-Man, where there's the, what do you call it? The symbiote suit, right? That's basically what I have. I think the Adidas shirt has just become the symbiote suit. It's just stuck to my body constantly. Add that to the lore. And any alternate visions are just it's in disguise. Is the notification going to go off? Because I've just seen a super chat, but I was waiting on the notification thing to go off. There might be some delay though. Yes, hello everyone. So I might as well. I'll wait for the first. I mean, I can read it out, but the problem is I know for a fact it'll come up with the little. There we are. There we go. Money. Thank you to Enful N.O. Raccoon for the £1.99 super chat saying, wait, what did he say? Barbie TARDIS is definitely in the Barbie film. Do we know that for definite? I heard some people saying it might have been at the Barbie carpet event in Europe, but I didn't see it there, which is a shame. We shall shoot you there. So I'll go over this for anyone who's confused, because this has kind of been happening over this last 24 hours. So I thought I might as well cover that. Let me get it up on my Twitter. Okay, so there was this, which happened this morning. This was posted at 9:02. A pink TARDIS, the pink wrapped TARDIS, appeared in London this morning in commemoration of the Barbie movie. And obviously, we know Ncuti Gatwa is one of the Kens in the Barbie movie, so they thought, let's do a cool tie-in thing. Let's have this pink TARDIS, which is honestly really savvy bits of marketing for both the Barbie and Doctor Who team. I'm not sure who was like the main person who orchestrated it. However, it's good regardless. I did see a filming sign saying it was for Warner, so maybe it was more Warner's thing, which does make sense because it's their thing that comes first. However, obviously, I imagine the Doctor Who team would have had some sort of, sign off, some sort of. But it's a very very cool thing, and let me see if I can get it. Ncuti also posted it on his Instagram story. There were some people who thought maybe he would be at the box, but I don't think he was. However, there was a post from the Doctor Who social medias of everyone at the box, which is cool because I know Ethan there as well. Shout outs to you, Ethan, if you watch this. Yeah, so that was really cool. Also, you can sort of tell it's a decal here. It's like a paint job that's been made to look like tearing sort of wrapping, I suppose. But when I was looking at it from a distance, there was part of me that was just imagining peeling it off and it being satisfying, only to realise that it was painted on. But very, very cool, very savvy bit of like marketing play from both sides. But obviously, in terms of Doctor Who, being tied into what is arguably the biggest summer film. Obviously, like I'm not into like the Barbie hype as much as some other people are. However, you know, Barbie and Oppenheimer are like the two big films at the moment. So I was waiting for the Oppenheimer TARDIS. I actually made this joke on Twitter. Let me find it. Where is it? There's been a lot of good jokes. Yeah, this one. This is the concept art for the Oppenheimer TARDIS. It's the Van Gogh painting. So yeah, that's really really cool. Let me see if I can find the bit of Shooty posting it on his Instagram. There just seems to be a level of savviness to like the whole thing. Makes it look like a chocolate bar. It does. Speaking of chocolate bars, I want to ask you guys a question, chat. Did any of you watch the Wonka trailer? And if so, what were your thoughts? Because I've been a fan of. I was always a big fan of the '71 film, and I have thoughts on the trailer for that film. They need to blow up the TARDIS for the Oppenheimer crossover. Exactly, this is what I'm thinking. Bon anniversaire, mon ami. Thank you. Do you know, I actually apparently do have some French heritage. I'm not sure where. I've just been told that. Come Barbenheimer film. I probably will watch both films. What was the air in reference to? I'm very delayed, so. Oh, is that in reference to the Wonka trailer? Yeah. So let me have this rant. I need to have this rant to someone. I need to have this rant to someone. I think it looked pretty decent. However, Timothy Chalamet, I wasn't sold. I wasn't sold on Wonka. Like I quite like the trailer from it felt very Paddington-esque. Obviously the director Paddington was the guy who did it, but like man, the kid obviously Timothy Chalamet is incredibly talented, and I don't want to what do you call it? Like play him down because he is a great actor, but in this, I don't think it worked. Like I'll see if I can. His line delivery was terrible. Yeah, when he's trying to be quirky, it just doesn't. It doesn't. It just doesn't land. He's trying to be the '71. Obviously, he's trying to do like a younger version of Gene Wilder, and it's just not. It's just not coming together. Let me find it. Here we go. This clip here kind of summarizes my problem.
So quiet up and listen down. Nope, scratch that. Reverse it.
Like this, it feels forced. Do you know what I mean? Like I hope I'm not the only one who sees it. Like it feels really. It feels like an impression. It feels like the sort of thing. You know when you see like the characters at Disney World, right? And they kind of have that sort of impressionist kind of vibe. It gives that. I don't know.
So quiet up and listen down. Nope, scratch that. Reverse it.
Like I hope I'm not I'm not trying to rag on the guy, but I saw this and I was like, man, I actually quite like the look of this film. But then every time he spoke, I was just like, like it just wasn't feeling it. I thought he'd be good at being quirky, but he just isn't. This Harry's is my birthday next month. Well, happy birthday for next month. It doesn't even feel forced. It feels like biting into a what do you call it? A saltine cracker and finding out it's soggy. Yeah. It's very clearly just a Gene Wilder impression. He needed to make it a bit more his own. To an extent, yeah, but I feel like part of it is just maybe that he doesn't have the eccentric range that you kind of need for like Willy Wonka, right? Like it's kind of the way I described it to a friend the other day was it's kind of like the difference between Eddie Redmayne and Matt Smith. Like Matt Smith is a quirky guy. Eddie Redmayne was a guy who was trying to play quirky. Does that make sense? The tagline is so dumb. Find out how Willy became Wonka. Yeah, that one did make me laugh. I have thought, because I think you guys might have seen the Crispy Pro video on this. I don't know, maybe you didn't. But there was a plan back in the day for there to be basically a prequel show on CBBC following a young Doctor Who, and Russell very quickly went, "No, we're not doing that. Stop." Immediately, he was like, "Nah, nah, we're not doing a Doctor Origin show." And honestly, thank God. But part of me is really tempted to do like a parody trailer in the style of Wonka, um, of that premise, because I think that'd be fun. I'm not sure how I would achieve it yet. Mine is in spooky month, bro. October? See, I get where you're coming from. Obviously, yeah, with the whole like doing crimes things, that's not ideal. But like, I don't know. I agree that he could possibly do it. I don't know. I don't really know who I'd cast as a younger Willy Wonka. You kind of need someone who's just a bit weird, like a bit odd. Gene Wilder is a very unique actor. There are so many layers to his performance that it's hard to mirror. That's true, and I don't want someone to like fully mirror it. But I guess just bring some eccentricity. I think, I mean, at the very least, it's not annoying like Depp's performances. I know Depp's performance has its fans, and the 2005 film has its fans. I'm not one of them, and I'm glad it seems to be more based on the 71 original. However, yeah. I also, other film news, obviously, you guys can ask any question you want. Obviously, it's your stream, feel free. But like another thing I want to say is I saw the Napoleon trailer, the trailer for the movie Napoleon. That looks quite good. It's done by the guy who did Alien, Ridley Scott, and it's starring Joaquin Phoenix, which is great. At least it's not Tom Holland, I guess. Johnny Depp's version was way too over the top. Yeah, I just don't like the 2005 film in general. It feels too Burton-y. Burton's style works in certain instances, I feel. Like, for example, he did. What's it called? I did it in drama. The. Pretty women, pretty gentle. The one where they make people into pies. I think of its name. Why can't I think of its name? Um, Please, someone think of this. It's going to annoy me for so long. Sex Education trailer came out, so what should you get with? Yes, it did. That looked good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad they confirmed it's the last one, because I was slightly worried going into it that they were going to extend it. Phoenix is actually a great cast. It's true, because historically as well, Napoleon was a little bit of like women referred to him as like physically repulsive. And I'm not saying Joaquin is, but you could kind of see Sweeney Todd. Thank you, thank you. I liked his vision of Sweeney Todd. I think it was him anyway, because it's Tim Burton and Helen Martin Carter, so I imagine so. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name Sweeney Todd for a second. I just had a complete main brain melt. Like his Burton film doesn't work because it's too Burton-y. I'm potentially doing that to piss you off. To be fair, I'd agree with you on Batman Returns. Batman Returns, I'll concede to you, I think is too Burton-y. I think that's where they step the line too far. Batman 89, I think, strikes the balance, I feel. But yeah, like with the China Chocolate Factory stuff, it just, I know a lot of people say it's technically more accurate to the book, but in some cases I kind of feel like the adaptational changes made by the 71 film made the story better. But that's a hot take, you know. I don't necessarily think that something being 100% accurate to the source material necessarily makes something automatically a better adaptation. Because I think sometimes it's worth changing the material in some cases. What monsters could we see for Series 15? Series picks first. I want to see Sutek. Does he count? I mean, he's a villain, I guess. Yeah, I'd like to see Sutek. That's one that I would like to see. Which franchise would you want to cross over with Doctor Who? I've honestly always said, I mean, it's not really a franchise somehow, but I would love to see just like an episode with Doc Brown somehow. Preferably, I mean, I'd have loved it with Capaldi, just because I'd have loved that vibe. Because obviously, 12's a bit of a rocker, and you'd have the whole thing of like Doc would be, trying to figure out the logic of the TARDIS, and the Doctor would be sort of poking fun at how ridiculous the DeLorean is. It would just be such a fun vibe, so that's always been my answer. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I was just going to get up the pictures of and the images and videos of Ncuti Gatwa at the Barbie premiere, the European Barbie premiere, I should say. So here he was.
My gosh.
Let me get it up on the screen. Here he was on their little Instagram story thing, being interviewed.
Oh my gosh, the Kennedy from this one.
Hey!
Welcome to the
He's got a cowboy hat and a cape, channeling.
pink carpet. Ncuti Gatwa, hello.
Hello.
This Ken said giddy up, didn't he?
Ken said giddy up. We're going for a ride.
We are
going for a ride.
Ncuti, there is so much to discuss, so much cool stuff happening in your life right now. Obviously being part of this movie.
So many things going on in his life, so many exciting things, like it really is, like Doctor Who, Barbie, he's got all
Being one of them. Talk to me about the day you got the call to be a Ken.
Oh, that day was wild. I had met Greta the night before on Zoom, and it was just such a great meeting, and she was so lovely and so incredible, and I couldn't believe I was speaking to her. But I thought, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. The next day I got the call, I just immediately called Emma, and I just sung, "Come on, Barbie, let's go party." And the rest is history.
I love that. You and Emma Mackey must have screamed at each other
We were
non-stop.
screaming.
Obviously, Emma Mackey worked with Ncuti on Sex Education, which is also coming out in September.
And the fact that we're each other's Barbies and Ken as well was like...
I love it.
So that was that interview there, and he also did like a little post. I'm ripping from Chloe right now because Chloe's got all the video clips from Instagram and all that. Let me find it. So he posted this on his like Instagram story and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool to see. It just feels like Doctor Who's going to be a big deal very soon. Like, it's mad. Right, the TARDIS was painted before. I do, and it's funny you should mention that. It was painted in a Happiness Patrol, which is one of my favorite McCoy stories. But what do you call it? They posted immediately upon this happening. They posted a clip from the Happiness Patrol. I can't play it for copyright reasons, of course, but they posted fully fledged adult. Happy birthday, Thursday. It's my fiance's birthday too. Her name is Rihanna. Can you give her a shout out, please? I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'll say it again. But happy birthday to you, Rihanna, from me. And you share a great day for a birthday. It's got to be said. Copyright, please don't mess around. Oh, really? Wait, is the stream dead? Oh, wait, did the internet pop out for a sec? It was fine on my end. It was fine on my end. Is it working? Is it working or no? We're back? When did it freeze? Okay, no worries. Yeah, so they commented on they posted the Happiness Patrol scene, which I think was really cool. Yeah, there wasn't an internet outage on my end, so that is odd. As far as I can tell. And yeah, I posted like, oh, the timing of this with the Barbie TARDIS is impeccable. And then they said, oh, the people were like, that's the point. It's like, I know, I was just pointing it out, It wasn't meant to be an attack. But yeah, it's really cool that this marketing team just seems so like wired in. It's genuinely fantastic. I wanted to show something else as well while we were on YouTube. Yes, that was it. So I obviously, once again, I'll refrain from playing it in its full. Then again, it is a short, so I'll probably be fine. Oh yeah, the internet is being a bit funny. Hopefully it's okay. Let me refresh this. Yeah, there we go. So there is a video I want to show because obviously next to the TARDIS being painted pink, they uploaded a short of the Star Beast. Just the bit of the Star Beast on its own from the trailer, which is the why did this face come back to say goodbye, and then it reveals the Star Beast, name, and that's it. So it looks like they're doing each of these, possibly in a countdown to the 15th of May, not 15th of May, 15th of July, this month, which is Wimbledon, which would make sense, and we've spoken about that in a previous stream before now. But this seems to add more fuel to that fire. And with the whole Barbie thing as well, it definitely feels like things are heating up once again. They've been very constantly posting like little things about the 60th and shooty, and there was like a fan art that they posted. So yeah, it looks like we might be counting down to a Wimbledon trailer. Obviously, I'm not saying it's 100%. However, it's looking pretty likely to me. Tennant destroying the TARDIS again during his regeneration to 15 would be fitting. Well, that's true, although I doubt they will, because they just spent like all that money making a new one, so... spot on, thank you. Oh yeah, I'm glad I got the name right. I really hope RTD brings back Who content as based as the Happiness Patrol. Those who know will know. Very true. Yeah, I love Happiness Patrol. One of my favourite classic Who stories. I think he will. If there's one guy I trust with that sort of... I mean, he did have a bit... in what was it? It's a Sin, where one of the characters takes a whiz in the coffee of Margaret Thatcher, I believe. So if anyone's gonna do it, it'd be Russell. Happy birthday, Therese! You're old now, into your 3rd decade on this planet. I know that's like terrifying when you put it like that. I'm gonna be 30 one day when the 70th anniversary comes around. I'm gonna be 30, which is terrifying. And it's mad because I can so clearly remember like all of the 50th stuff happening, and that's actually a video that I'm gonna do soon. That might be my next video, is comparing the 50th anniversary celebrations to the 60th anniversary celebrations, because I've seen a lot of people debating that topic, and I'll probably be throwing my hat into the ring. So that's something that you'll be looking forward to. All streams have been affected. Okay, that's odd. Is it a YouTube issue then? 1 year closer to death. Yeah, morbid but true. Jill Whittaker with McCoy era, thanks. Nah, I'm not going to say it's insulting to the McCoy era, but the McCoy era was. I feel like Chibnall took the wrong bits from the Sylvester era. You reach the same birthday as Doctor Who now when it hits 100. That's true. And that's if I make it to now. I probably will make it to 60. Imagine if I just became like the face of Bo. You know what? I just I just was always here. Get up to anything good for your birthday? Honestly, we had a bit of a chill one. I'm not a big might be shocking to you, the Doctor Who YouTuber who sits and talks about news isn't a big party guy. But I had some family around, had a takeaway, had a nice cake. Got lots of little goodies, little chocolates and sweets and money and all that sort of stuff. It's been pretty chill, but it's been pretty fun. Yeah, I reckon we'll be getting another 60th trailer at some point this month. Probably Wimbledon, because I doubt they would have it. You could just have it at some point in July. The face of Sarah, you nearly made me fall off my bed. Yeah. Man, someone photoshopped my face onto the face of older Tharies, yeah. I think 60th is better chance of being popular because it's 3 episodes as opposed to the 50th whole thing right on 1 hour of TV. That's true. I am glad that the anniversary is longer than just a 1 episode. I am glad, especially because we have waited so long as well. I'm glad it is 3. And actually, while you say that, there has been a little interview. There's been a couple of interviews, mainly to do with Good Omens with David Tennant, which I might as well play because I think I can play those without being claimed. I might not be able to, but screw it. If I get claimed, I get claimed. I'm feeling risky tonight. Let me get them up. Okay, we're back. Not gonna lie, you can just clip face. Yeah, I mean that's true. There's a face of a Terry's video on the second channel. There he is. Wow, these copyright guys are really good. No, it's just that was YouTube then because my internet was fine the whole time. I should be back now. We're back. Good. Yeah. No, yeah, it was really funny. Just as I was saying about copyright, the stream died. But I promise you, they were coincidental events. I think YouTube is just playing up a bit. Girl, first Twitter, now bloody YouTube. It's all going wrong. Yeah, what was I going to show? Yeah, so it was a clip of David Tennant on. There was one on the One Show and one on This Morning. Of him briefly talking about Doctor Who, mainly talking about Good Omens, but obviously it's David Tennant on British TV. Of course, they're going to mention Doctor Who. So I'll get this up now.
So I never do it.
Yeah. David, you're returning to Doctor Who. We had Catherine Tate on a couple of weeks ago. Actually. So we spoke to her about it all. Now, she said it was like slipping back into a comfy pair of slippers, didn't she?
She did.
Was it the same for you? He's like,
oh.
Yeah. I mean, 15 years is quite a long time, and you do worry you won't be able to run fast enough anymore. But
is it 15 years ago?
15 years.
It's not, David. It
no,
can't
you're
be.
a lot older than you think you are.
Oh my God!
I was only 5.
I
was only 5 when I remember the David Tennant years. I was just a little
I love Michael Sheen.
Wasn't born. No.
It's always mad to me that Michael Sheen was the one who played House in The Doctor's Wife. That's always a mad little fact to me. There's another clip I wanted to show, which was the one on This Morning. That, wait, what's people talking about in the chat? You really are the 5 Doctors, but unfortunately you're Tom. What, just getting constantly stuck in the time vortex? Just stuck? Yeah, that makes sense. Tennant looking like a happy boss. There is another question. If you were the Doctor, what would your costume be? P.S. Can you please be on Doctor Who? I mean, it's not up to me. I'd love to be on Doctor Who. Russell, someone clip this and send it to him. Russell, if you ever want me, you know, I know they were saying in the papers about the TARDIS having a ramp. Perfect opportunity. I'm just saying. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so there was that bit of David Tennant talking. Just an Adidas t-shirt is enough for Thari's Doctor Who costume. The thing is, if I wore that now, it would just... It's weird how such like a what you call it, like a plain piece of clothing, it's just kind of become this thing. It's just because I have a lot of Adidas shirts. It was never planned that way. It's just sort of become this thing. Let me find it. It's on Twitter somewhere. Because the thing is, I know there's a longer version on YouTube, but I know for a fact ITV have claimed me before, whereas BBC, I seem to be a bit better with now, at least when it comes to panel shows like that. So maybe I'll leave the This Morning one for now. Just in case, because YouTube's already laying up as it is. Hey there, I start for Doctor Who content, but your videos always make the wait a little better. Well, I'm glad of that. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, but I think once they get started, we're going to be having stuff pretty consistently. It's because you've never taken it on small on people. That's true. That is canon. That is canon lore for the story. I'd love to see Doctor Who story during the Sontaran War. Something that had been done. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Matt Smith and Comic Con asked him about the 60th. He denied making a cameo. He said no filming is finished. It's in the can. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I'm not convinced he's in it as much as I'd love to see him in it. Yeah. But I mean, I'd love to be wrong, but I do think it is just Tennant, which I'm okay with. Can I say something? Obviously, this is not to say at all that I'm not hyped for the 60th. I absolutely am. However, I'm not going to lie, there's a part of me that is just like, oh, Series 14 just looks so new and exciting. Like, I probably am a little bit more excited for Series 14 at this stage. Not because I'm not excited for the 60th, but just because Series 14 feels so unique and fresh and different, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Can you please show your sonic screwdriver selection? It's been out of the way at the minute because it's covered by some stuff. At some point I will. Actually, a video that I want to do, which is in the pipeline, it's not sonic screwdriver. But I was going to do ranking the Doctors by like their costumes. So in terms of like which Doctor has the best looks, essentially. So that'll be a list. When do you think the guest writers for Series 14 will be announced? I think they can hold off on that for longer, because with guest writers, you don't see them in public, and also, just generally speaking, like, the general public aren't as, like, interested to know writers, necessarily, other than, like, when they're, like, big names, like, they might announce maybe Moffat, if he comes back, which I've heard rumours about. Will the audience change as well, or not, if you do a regeneration scene? Yeah, no, if I regenerate, it'll just do like a Power of the Doctor. It'll just burn away and become a different colour. Darius is on screen. Oh god, no. Hope they get Neil Gaiman. Oh, I'd love another Neil Gaiman episode. I think he's been a bit put off by it, because if you look behind the scenes on like Nightmare and Silver, it seems like a lot of restraints were put on him, a lot of edits were made, and I think it's kind of put him off. And he's getting the Amazon money with Good Omens at the minute. So, I mean, if anyone could bring him back, I feel like Russell could, and I'd love to see him do it again, because Doctor's Wife is like one of my favourite episodes ever. I think he's fantastic, and I think Neil Gaiman's fantastic in general. I wouldn't go as far as to say the 60th just feels like Series 4 with better cameras, because I feel as though there is like interesting narrative potential in like a new like Doctor played by David Tennant, and all of that sort of stuff, and like the whole memory thing. Like it feels unique in like its own way, and Beat the Meat feels very different from anything you'd see in Series 4. However, there is a very unique feel to Series 14 so far. I think they'll explain the costume change. I assume it's something to do with the toy maker in the narrative. Obviously, we know why it was done, like in real life, but in the show, I could see them making it like a toy maker thing, because he also seems to wear a lot of the same. What's the word I'm looking for? Like tartan clothes. But the thing is, he is new, because this is the thing. Even though, yes, from what we've seen in the trailers, he's a very similar character. You've got to think. It's a 10th Doctor with all the knowledge and memories of 11, 12, and 13. And you've got the aspect of, this is the one Doctor who didn't want to leave, right? So you got to think about it in terms of what happens if you give that Doctor the chance to stay as he was again. You know, regardless of what it costs him. I think that's a really interesting like moral dilemma, and I think the age provides an interesting thing. I could see him being a bit less brash than his original incarnation. I think, while yes, he's of course going to do the Alonzi and the yes and the all that, I still feel like there's potential in that, because we've never had a Doctor revisited minus, I guess, the Curator. Because I wouldn't necessarily call, I mean, it's obviously to us, the Curator is meant to evoke the 4th Doctor, but I wouldn't necessarily call it the 4th Doctor with different clothes, you know? I don't really care if Moffat returns, but if we get Cornell, Dollard, Matheson, or especially Sherman, he will, but it'd be awesome. I would be extremely hyped. Cornell, I think, is one of the more likely ones there. Dollard, I love as well. I think I was watching Thin Ice the other day. Really underrated. Fantastic episode. Matheson as well is great. Yeah, I'd love all of those, to be fair. You have the 14th Doctor figure? I do! It's behind one of my cards right now, but it is there. Do, 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 do. I kind of hope he doesn't stray too far from the characterizations he had when he was the 10th Doctor. I don't think he will. I think the whole point is that he's meant to evoke the past while being slightly uncanny. Revisiting the I don't want to go thing is one of my biggest issues. Interesting perspective. I think for me, not rectifying it, but sort of like maybe having the 10th Doctor come to terms with his change, that there is a narrative potential in that to me, I think. Because with all the other Doctors, they sort of they came to terms with the fact that they were gone, except for him. He's the only one. So I do think there's narrative potential there. would you want the return of an old face to be a one-off or a recurring thing that's a chance to happen? What you mean in terms of doctors coming back? I think this should be a one-off. I don't think they should make a habit of it. For the same reason that I feel that they shouldn't make too much of a habit of multi-doctor stories, because I do think they get a bit stale. And I think what's interesting about this experiment, having a doctor return to an old face, is new. It is a new way of doing it. I don't want to go as brilliant at the time, but it's starting to weaken its impact now. It's definitely time to revisit it. 100%. Yeah, I think there's a story to be told in that. I hope they acknowledge that the Tennant Doctor had the shortest life. Yeah, that is true, which is odd when you consider that Eccleston had one series on screen. McGann had a movie, but in the end, I know McGann also had Night of the Doctor and Big Finish later on, but it's funny really when you think about it. Moffat is very talented, but we've had so much Moffat other talent, especially some of those new Capaldi writers. I do agree. However, I'm not gonna. Here's the thing. While I agree with you, I want some of those guys. Ooh, my headphones keep coming off. I'm not gonna say no to a new Moffat episode under RTD, because that's when you get some absolute brilliant episodes. And we need Class series to return. I mean, to be fair, I've only seen the first episode, so I do need to watch it properly. When will they announce the unit series? I don't know. I imagine before they start filming it, so maybe just before the 60th, maybe. Because I think obviously I know it hasn't been officially confirmed, but I think we all feel like we know it's happening at this point. I mean, after the 60th for a reasonable amount of time. Wait, what's that in reference to? I could see them doing an Agatha all along musical scene from WandaVision with the Toymaker to explain the mysteries of the costume change. Yeah, that'd be fun. I know there was some speculation back in the day that Neil Patrick Harris would be involved in a musical number, and that would there was that whole bit with the rose petals in the trailer, and that would kind of predate a lot of the musical theme in Series 14 as well, and lead into that nicely. So yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that could very much happen. Happy birthday, Harry. Thank you. The problem with the I Don't Want to Go came when RTD handing off the show, now he's coming back, and all of a sudden, change is good. Don't like it. I wouldn't say. The thing is, though, right? People say that with the whole I Don't Want to Go thing, it's kind of this thing of Russell being change is bad. I don't think that was the intent. I think it's just the 10th Doctor was such an emotional incarnation that they felt it made sense for that Doctor. Obviously, optically, I understand why it would be seen as maybe having a Doctor be you saunter away in my TARDIS and I'm gone, would be a bit of a difficult spot to leave it at. At the same time, I think it worked at the time. I think revisiting it has a lot of narrative potential. I really, really don't like how much of it when it was done, especially with how clever he thought he was. It definitely seemed to do inside Man 2. I haven't seen that. I want to, though. I do agree, but again, I feel like with with Russell, I feel like they balance each other out really well. Have you read the new Doomsday comic? No, not yet. I have it, as in I have the digital Doctor magazine, which has it with it. But I'll be honest, I just haven't been asked to read it. I've just sort of been sat here yeah, it exists, but I really just don't care. Here's an interesting thing, because I think a lot of people tie in the Doomsday event to RTD2, and obviously RTD has himself endorsed it, so I'm not saying that RTD hates it or anything like that, but it is important to note that in one of the issues of DWM, they mentioned the fact that the Doom photo shoots took place at BBC Studios, not Bad Wolf, implying that it's a BBC Studios project, not a Bad Wolf project, which would kind of explain why it looks somewhat cheaper than what Bad Wolf's been putting out. Let's say that. Added another super chat. I'll wait for it to come through. Have you been keeping up with the Superman Legacy news? Oh yes, I'll read it. Happy birthday for Mario Bell. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much. Hello from Pennsylvania, USA. Enjoy your channel. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. A lot of US viewers tonight. I think that's because when I stream later, I think it's like normal time for you guys. So you're like, yeah, I'll come on. The video trailer for Doom's was terrible. Yeah, it didn't look great. It feels so chibnall. Yeah, it kind of does. I wouldn't be surprised if it had been in what do you call it? Development before Chibnall came along. Not Chibnall, Russell, sorry, you know what I meant. One more year, you'll be an adult. I guess, yeah, technically. I mean, in a lot of ways, I already kind of am, but I mean, I guess all over the world, to do everything, you've got to be 21. So yeah, happy birthday! Thank you, Thomas McBurdy. Thank you very much. Sorry for the action, even though it's not my fault. Yeah, Sue's character seems really cool, from what I've seen. Darius, why do you prefer the Italian Palmer Mario over Pokemon? Because Pokemon, alright, I'm going to make some enemies here, but realistically, Pokemon, I've seen, like, some of the games, they don't look that good. Like, the anime was fun, I guess, but, like, people just like it because it's got the funny animals. The games aren't all that, you know? Mario has never put out a bad game, and, like, you got Mario Kart, you got all that stuff. Harbo Williams, happy birthday, Big T. Thank you, Harbo. Thanks for stopping by. I feel bad for not wishing you a happy birthday yet. There he is, from Scotland. No worries. There's no worries about that. But thank you, though. I appreciate that. Honestly, I had like so many birthday messages. It was quite nice just to see everyone being like, "Oh, happy birthday!" Well, thank you. That's so nice. Yeah, it's mad. Doctor Who Adventure Games Pokemon. Well, steady on now, you know. Steady on. I won't go that far. Hi, Darius. Have a great birthday. Love the content. Thank you so much. Thank you to Thomas McBurney for the £2 super chat. I'm worried Timeless Child is still a thing. Honestly, I just kind of want them to ignore it. That's kind of where I sit on that. I don't see the point in doing this whole decanonizing thing. I know some people want that. For me, I'd rather they just move on and tell these stories. Happy birthday, Tharis. You're no longer a teenager. I know you turn into an adult when you're 18, but you're still considered a teenager for a while at the same time. Okay, Mario is missing doesn't count. That's not a mainline Mario. That's like saying the CDI Marios count. I mean, like the main Nintendo-made non-educational game Marios all being great. Like the 2D and the 3D. Even the new Super Mario Bros. Games, which probably are the weaker ones, are still good, you know? Hang on, I'm just getting a call. 1 second. I'll be right back, folks. I'll just double check this. Ooh, that's the wrong one. I'm back. Alright, my brother was just on the phone. He's just been out of the house. Did I? Did I leave it unmuted? Did I leave my mic unmuted, or are you guys messing with me? I don't think I did. Thanks, partner. Nah, now I know you're lying, because that didn't happen. For a second, I was like, did I? Darius finally gets cast in Doctor Who. Yeah, imagine it was Russell T Davies, guys. Wait, did you hear everything? I'm checking. The games aren't all, you know? Hang on. No, you didn't. I checked. You didn't catch me out. I checked. You had me going for a second now. But yeah, my brother just calling it. Super Mario, I would really love. Oh wait, did you? Yeah, no, you didn't. We heard nothing. Yeah, good. I feel like you are gaslighting me. I'm being gaslit on my birthday. There was really nothing that interesting, to be fair. He beat me to the 16th Doctor role. Yeah, it was Russell T Davies saying that I'm the next showrunner after him. That's what it was. Yeah, no, you didn't. This is, there is this Doctor Who shop in my town. I have only just discovered. I might have to buy some things. Yeah. Can't wait for the new Time Lord, the Gaslighter. Yeah, can I actually, while we're on the topic of Doctor Who merch, right? I want to address something, right? And I've been feeling this for a long time. I'm gonna get it up because I've wanted to rant about this for a long time. There is a shop that has a. Oh shit! Did we do that? There is a shop that has Doctor Who merchandise, and I can't lie, I don't think it looks very good. And it's Forbidden Planet. Now, I'm not going to drag them. Forbidden Planet. No, actually, imagine if I was like, if you want to send me anything, you can, but I'm going to roast your designs. But is it just me, or is it whenever I see some of this merch, like some of it's cool. Like I'll give them this. Like the Ace badge and the Diamond badge are cool, but then, like, who wants the Meta Crisis Doctor shit? Like, who wants that? You know, like, I quite like this. The TARDIS is in a row, but like, there's so many. Like this Sixth Doctor one, right? It's like, could you not do something a bit more? I guess I don't know, something more like avant-garde with the designs, something a bit more creative. Like I don't mind this one as much. It's kind of like I don't even know, like a stencil aesthetic. That's at least interesting. But then you get like this, and it's just the Ninth Doctor 2005. Like it's a very, very odd. And they've even done like a curator one recently. Don't know whether that's here. Like, don't get me wrong, some of this stuff's cool, but I'm just like this is cool. The K1 robot, that's cool. But then like, oh, there's like a fourth Doctor shit. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe you guys think this is all great. Like, I like the more designed ones, like the Sill shirt and the like special weapons Dalek. But then you've got this one that is just a picture from Time Lord Victoria's printed on shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Forbidden Planet 60th range feels a bit. The one in Liverpool has some cool stuff. Cool. Die Hard Tennant stands. I feel like even Die Hard Tennant stands would rather just a 10 or 14 shirt over Meta Crisis. Gaslighting is how we like the candles. Duh, that's true. But I've already had candles. Pretty much all merch for every property size. Kind of. You can get khaki merch for everything. I don't know. I feel like I went to the Who shop in Upton Park, London today. It was excellent. I also visited the Barbie TARDIS. Very cool. I haven't what do you call it? I haven't been to the Who shop yet, but it's one of those things I am wanting to make pilgrimage to at some point. I'll be honest, I just find London a bit of a nightmare. Just stick to Adidas. True. They've never let me down before. What milestone would he buy the Meta Crisis Doctor shirt? When I'm dead. No. I tell you what. No. Yeah. What could be the milestone? It's like, I mean, it's not that bad shit. I mean, okay, if I hit 25k by the end of this year, I'll buy the shit. As a Welshman yourself, have you been to Yanto Shrine in Cardiff? Mate, I have. I've been a few times. I posted a picture on Threads of that the other day because it's been on my phone for a while. Technically regenerated at midnight, incarnation number 20. That's true. Sadly, he'll have to wear over the blue Adidas shirt. When are you gonna get eating fish fingers and custard on the stream? I do want to do that. Maybe I should do that in the lead up to the 60th, like November or something. It's just getting the stuff together because I have to go to I would do the shopping. I have to go up to my family and be like, hey, can you just get me a big supply of fish fingers and custard, put them in a bowl, and then I'm going to stream myself doing it. We need an Archie theme park. There was a fantastic video by, I think his name is Rich Houston, who used to do the Who Culture stuff on a Doctor Who ride. I thought that was a really cool idea. In Disney, that was really cool. There's apparently also rumors of a collection box set being announced tomorrow. I don't know about the legitimacy of that. I'm not the expert on the collection box set stuff. Blobfish just sounds like a name for a Tory. Damn. Love Idol. I was at Comic Con 2022 when you were there in Telford. I had no idea you were there. Damn, missed my opportunity. I'll probably do some more cons. Darius pulls up to Queen Street, Chester extra, buys 3 times off fish fingers and custard. 100%. To be fair, I don't know which Tesco would be closest to me. Do I even say because it might dox me? I don't know. Yeah, I probably won't. Probably for the best if I don't. Wasn't someone on Twitter saying the collection would be announced today and it never was? I thought they said tomorrow, but maybe I'm misremembering. Also, yeah, someone slagged off your name in the chat earlier, Blobfish. I don't know if you're going to take that. Please don't dox yourself. Yeah, it's probably not worth it, is it? So my address is, while you're at it, here's my social security number. Yeah. Do we even have that in the UK? Because I know there's something that we don't have. Okay, I will hold you to that. What if I get 25k subs by the end of the year? Well, it's kind of in my my what you call it, my best interest, because if I do, all I got to do is get a shirt. But if I don't, there was Blobfish Ladder. There was not from me, from another chatter. So, we've had another.
Money. Yes, you have.
We've had another donation. This time from Novo Gyro. For €6, man, we got all the currencies out today. Saying money where? Money there, apparently. Thank you very much for that €6 super chat. Yeah, we've had dollars, pounds, and euros. Let's see if we can get an even more obscure currency. Harry's, you're like Nanny McPhee. When I need you, you're never live. When I'm going to bed, like now, you're live. When you need me, but do not when you need me, but do not want me, I'll be there. When you want me, but no longer need me, then I must go. Hey, Theros, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I can offer you 2 bottle caps. Okay, Harbour, listen, this is a Fallout New Vegas. Then they're going to play the build. No, I'm joking. You don't have to, Harbour. But I love you. I love you, Harbour. Oh, I miss Fallout New Vegas. I used to play the Fallout Who mod all the time. But the thing is, it's so buggy. It got so buggy at some point. I have no idea what any of that means, Darius, but I'll pretend I do. I'm not sure what I just said. Is Nanny McPhee a Time Lord? Honestly, That's not a bad idea. I said on Twitter the other day, Willy Wonka's probably a Time Lord. Prove me wrong. Because hear me out. Rooms that are bigger on the inside than the outside. Candy that lasts, like, forever. You know, right? You've got a guy who dresses like that. I mean, come on. He regenerates because he was Gene Wilder and he's Johnny Depp, you know? Nanny McCoo. You see, it's like Nanny McPhee's evil twin sister. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. That's the rumor. The rumor right now is trailer on the 15th, which is the Saturday. Don't know for definite, but that seems to be the strong indication with the building of the social media accounts, and also, like, yeah, it just seems to make a lot of sense. There's been a lot of little pointers to that. Have you played Outer Worlds, Tom? It's made by the company, same company, Obsidian. I haven't. I want to, though. It's not open world, though, is it? Because I heard it wasn't, which did kind of put me off a bit. There is, I have big news. It's my sports day tomorrow. Well, good luck. I was never very good at sports day, for obvious reasons. Person on Twitter said Paradox was nominated for an Emmy. I think they were pulling your leg. I think that was a meme. I think that was a meme. Yeah. Why can't we play the adventure games anymore? I believe they're on the Internet Archives. Too many trailers now? I disagree. I feel like the 2 trailers we haven't really shown much. Like, I feel like at this point we know more about Series 14 than 60th. I said this in a previous stream. So I'm not really that averse to another trailer. Oh, 100% he's a Time Lord. He takes a species from a foreign land and enslaves them to make chocolate. Actually, I think that just makes them British. Yeah, true. That's the thing, right? Like, that's why I feel like making the Oompa Loompas, like, orange and green makes it less horrifying, because it's like, at least they're obviously fantasy creatures. I honestly feel like the 2005 depiction, which is based on the book, is more problematic to me. Like, because they very much play up that Loompa Land is kind of this allegory for, like, Africa. And it's like, how do you build your YouTube and Twitter account? Trying to make it as a YouTuber. Honestly, that's a good question. I don't think any YouTuber truly, like, knows. In all honesty, I think that's the truth of it. Like, there's people who sell courses and stuff, and I think the reality is it's different for everyone. And I know that's not the most helpful answer. For me, what I would say is, honestly, find a niche that appeals to people, and then from there, just once you have, like, an audience, plug your other socials. That's why my Twitter following is pretty big, because I plugged it for ages. But now, Twitter's kind of dead. Yeah, Twitter's it's open world. The campaigns are a bit short, but it's a good story. Okay, I'll give it a go. Mary Poppins is a title. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more a lot of British fictional characters could be Time Lords. It's just consistently luck in it. Yeah, I think it's just finding a format that appeals to people and, like, appeals to the algorithm, and then just kind of building off of that. Yeah, that's true. I used to play wheelchair basketball. I was mainly joking, just because I'm not very sporty. But of course, you can obviously do sports. I did used to do it back when I was a kid. I also used to swim quite a bit. Mr. B probably knows how, but I think it depends on your niche, your content. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, you'll never, like, maybe you might soon, but, like, there's a reason. I love talking about YouTube, but there's a reason you'll see a lot of Doctor Who YouTubers. They kind of bottle out. Like, obviously, Harbo's the exception here, but generally speaking, 20, 30, 40k is kind of like the ceiling. Obviously, there's exceptions to that. There's Yahoo Culture's Harbo being another one, but generally speaking, that's kind of the glass ceiling. And I think that's just because Doctor Who is a niche topic, relatively, but that might be an increasingly large niche with all the Disney Plus stuff. So, who knows? I hope so, anyway. I want to see more people join the space. You know, I want to see more different content, different perspectives. Where did you think you'd be now when you were younger? Don't know. I remember. Actually, you know what? I don't know. I think I always okay, when I was younger, I think there was always a part of me that wanted to like entertain, but then when I was really, really young, I wanted to be like train driver. So I don't know. What people argue with on Twitter on Let's Go. Yeah, but like I don't know. At least there'll be new people to argue with, not the same 4 people who've been here for ages. Do you know what I mean? Like just the new voices. How dare you utter who culture in the same sentence as me? I'm outraged. I just mean in terms of subscriber numbers. Don't get me wrong, Harmo. I think you're better than who culture. I'm disabled, but I'm too nervous to do YouTube. Honestly, with YouTube as well, it's one of those things. Like, don't think you need to go into it with like a bunch of equipment and stuff. I had nothing, and I just kind of, it sounds very kind of, it's like have 30K subs by next month, perhaps. I doubt it. I mean, I think if there's going to be any big boom for any Doctor Who YouTubers, it's going to come in like November. You'll probably see a lot more of them just kind of popping up and blowing up for obvious reasons. What are your preferences for the title sequence? Would you would look like for Series 14 in terms of visuals? You get to continue living for now. Thank you. Yeah. In terms of preferences for the title sequence, honestly, I'd like to see the TARDIS back. Other than that, don't really have any strong desires. I'd like maybe some blue just to fit with the logo, I guess, but yeah, no, that's kind of my issue with Two Cultures. It's just a bit too corporate feeling for me. I like the different perspectives that each Doctor YouTubers have, and it kind of feels like Who Culture is just this distillation of every like opinion in one. No offense, Ferris, but Harlow is just a tiny bit better than you. Even if you said my favourite episode all time, Guild in the Fireplace is overrated. I mean, I'm not offended at all. I'm not offended. Someone banned Thomas McBurney. No, I'm joking. We love Harbour. I think the thing is, me and Harbour make profoundly different content. Mine's like news based and theory based, and Harbour does that theory stuff as well, but it's like a lot more like edited and like there's a lot more review stuff, more analytical stuff. It's just different types of content, I suppose. Will the new Sonic be on Amazon? I would hope so. The rumor is that they're announcing it because obviously we had that Sonic Screwdriver little tease thing earlier in the month, around the time of Comic-Con. Fairies and Harbour are late night comfort content. Great, now we've got Harry's crying on the street now. To be fair, I mainly put that when obviously the best YouTuber is that one guy who makes terribly overcrowded thumbnails about how woke Doctor Who is now. Yeah. It's kind of one thing I will say that's kind of been relieving is I might do a one-off Reddit leak. I have been thinking about it, but I don't want to make a habit of it because I feel like it got to a point where, and I know this to be true because I was told it, like people were making up Reddit leaks just to be in the videos. Do you ever do watch parties? It's something I've thought about. But obviously copyright's a nightmare with stuff like that. Do you think we'll see 15 in the full 14 costume? No, it'll probably just be like the Smith thing of like, oh, you'll see the sort of shirt and all that. Like we saw in that one picture. Your culture is a dirty, disgusting corporation, and Harbour is a dirty, disgusting series live later. So popularity doesn't lead to good content. I'm joking, of course. Damn. Yeah, that's true. Maybe at some point. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, with the Reddit stuff, like, I enjoy doing it, but obviously I don't want to fuel fake stuff. Do you know what I mean? And also, it's a fine line as well, because like, you don't want to get people in trouble, as well. Like, there's also that aspect to it. And, like, I'm also just kind of at a point now where it's not like with the Chibnall era, where it was a case of we weren't really getting any official information, so the Reddit leak kind of filled the gaps. Now we actually are getting information on a semi-regular basis. Oh, I quite like the faces in the title sequence. I know that's a hot take. I quite like it. Some of them did come true, which was quite surprising, especially the 3 special Reddit leak on Reddit. Yeah, there's a few that do come true. But leaks mostly come from Twitter, the Reddit, though. These days, yeah, there used to be a lot on Reddit. It's been cracked down on a lot more sort of since 2021, which is when they really sort of just everywhere. Yeah, honestly, I've seen like 1 or 2 that I might do videos on, but honestly, generally, there's been less of them, which has also kind of made me think, oh, maybe I won't do. I saw the leaked TARDIS interior video on Reddit. Yeah, I hope we get an official reveal of that sometime soon. Boxing match against Harbo and Theres in a cage. I mean, Harbo, if you're still in here, I'm up for it. No, I'm not. Actually, I would get destroyed, probably. Maybe. I don't know. I posted a video of something I recorded about Doctor Who from Radio 2. Oh, cool. I'll have a look at that later. How likely do you think a Martha Jones return is at this point? Extremely so. I mean, I think it would be a wasted opportunity to not bring it back at this stage. She's like the one Doctor Who LTD era companion that you could bring back with like virtually no complications. She has narrative potential in the fact that she didn't leave the Doctor on good terms. She has worked with both Unit and Torchwood, and there's a Unit spin-off. Frankly, I'd be more surprised if she didn't come back at some point. Harry's would roll over him. I bet on Thursday would. That'd be a PR nightmare disaster for me. I don't know, because I feel like there are, maybe I'm controversial among certain portions of fandom, so they might herald you. I don't know. And my birthday is also in July. Well, happy birthday for when your birthday is, Dan. Do you ever think Doctor Who will get a full theatrical movie? I mean, it's a possibility. It's been flirted with multiple times before. If they were to do it there, I wouldn't want it to be too disconnected from the show. Theres would use the Daleks on Harbour. That sounds like a weird mixture between the Thals and the Daleks, which is actually a somewhat interesting concept. Yeah, no, I've heard the TARDIS set, and they've even said in DVM, the TARDIS set is huge. Like, massive. I'm very excited for that. And they're doing drone shots in it, so it has to be of a decent size. He was on the one show. I did show that clip earlier, Dan. Oh, it is? Cool. Yeah, no, that reminds me of what I was saying. Like, the whole sort of, woke, not my doctor, that whole style of content has kind of gone a bit out of fashion. They don't seem to be as prevalent anymore, which I'm glad about. Imagine if Theres has been is in the 60th and he's been bluffing this whole time. I don't know whether I'd be able to keep that going for that long. However, who knows, eh? Who knows? Do you think Kate Stewart is in the 60th? Probably. I mean, we know Unit's in it. I feel like those two things come hand in hand at this point. Yeah, I think that's pretty likely. I hope we explore new areas of the TARDIS. I 100% agree! Bring back TARDIS rooms! We've got the budget now. Give us proper TARDIS rooms. I want that. I want that a lot. I heard a rumour that the doors on the new TARDIS open very different. Interesting. That's not one I've heard. However, could well be true. Journey to the Centre of TARDIS, in my opinion, is underrated. The only thing that really lets it down, in my opinion, is the ending, where all the characters forget all their development that just happened across the episode. That's not great, in my opinion, but I don't think it's as bad as some say. Kate Stewart's leading Unit in the 60th anniversary specials. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she was. I mean, she's already come back in power, so it'd be weirder if she wasn't there. Like, kind of like with Martha, although to like an even more like a larger extent, because it's like she's already come back. Whereas like with Martha, while she hasn't come back, I feel like there's a lot of sense in her coming back. Oh, 100%. I honestly, Cardiff Bay has never been the same since the Doctor experience left. That's one thing I could request of Russell. Please bring that back at some point because I miss it so much. Do a birthday T-pose for me. I don't think I really can. My arms don't stretch out that far. I gotta be honest. Yes, Taurus room would be nice, even as episode starting points showing that the Doctor and companion are hanging out. I agree. Yeah, I'd like that a lot. Why is Osgood ignored? Kate is boring. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a mega fan of either. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to a wholly new unit team, or second thought, bring back Brigadier Bambera from Battlefield because she was sick. No, oh yeah. So I want to like address this. Actually, someone made a very good point in chat. There is Shooty only doing 2 seasons, like some of the articles are saying. No, what Shooty has said in that Rolling Stone interview is that he's going to take a break to do some theatre stuff after season 2 of Doctor Who is done filming, aka series 15. That doesn't mean that he's not going to be doing more Doctor Who after that. You've got to think they're filming series 14 and 15 virtually back to back. So they still have plenty of time for Shooty to do other things and also have a 3rd season for 2026. People have just misconstrued his words as he's finishing it too, which isn't what he meant. Which, isn't necessarily what he meant. I want Kate to get converted into a Cyberman. Yeah, what was annoying about that is that, like, the way it was telegraphed, it was like, or choreographed, it was like, it took so long. I honestly think if it wasn't for the writer's strike, we probably would have had a San Diego Comic-Con panel. Doctor Who Experience was expensive. Yeah, but the word break does imply there'll be at least 3 seasons with him. Exactly. I feel like they've filmed these 2 in advance now so that he can have that career flexibility and also stay on for longer. Because I think I've said this before, and I might do a separate video on it at one point, but I think the 3 series rule needs to be broken at some point. And I think giving an actor, like, especially with the reducing episode counts, I feel as though the Doctor, like, I also feel a lot of times the Doctor really comes into their stride in their 3rd season, or 3rd series. So I feel as though it should be. No, the writer's strike won't affect Doctor Who because it's an American writer's strike, so it should not, as far as I'm aware, affect the production of Doctor Who, which is obviously in the UK. However, I know, well, I think it was implied in DWM that RTD wanted to do like Comic-Con. He said like no promises or anything, but it seems as though due to the writer's strike, which RTD posted on Instagram, it looks like they didn't do it, which does make sense because he was doing it in like solidarity. I'm surprised they didn't film in Liverpool again for the 60th episode. I think there was a rumor going around about the Beatles featuring in it somehow. Yeah, they recreated Abbey Road Willogs, which is where that iconic picture is taken, and there was rumors about someone being dressed as the Beatles on set. I assume it's just a matter of logistics because Cardiff is where they already are. So the situation at SVTG is so bad. Not only are the rights striking, but the actors threatening to as well. There'll be no one at SDCC at this rate. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they haven't just cancelled it, in all honesty. I would love Shooty to break the Tom Baker record. I don't think he will, but I'd like him to stay around for the long haul. Do you think Ruby Sunday is Kate's daughter? The last name's different, but Ruby could have her father's last name. I don't think so. I prefer if she wasn't. I prefer if she was her own character, to be honest. Not, associated to a previous one. Peter Davison is my favourite Doctor, but Colin Baker is much nicer than him in real life. Yeah, Peter, I think, because Peter has been temperamental to people I know before. I think he is. It depends on the day with Peter, I think. Colin is lovely, though. I want a Major Davros return. Yeah, I think I am down for that. It has been a long time since we've seen him. And I don't particularly like the story in which he came back in, so yeah, I wouldn't mind one more. Oh, oh my god. I mean, let's not have a never movie in the TARDIS tags. What do you mean? Kate Stewart was already there, but Ruby Sunday is really Rassilon in disguise. Also, I heard. I doubt that. I doubt that. I'd like it if he did more than 3 seasons, but do you reckon we have the budget for a Time War movie? I mean, possibly, but I kind of feel as though the Time War, like, it's had its time, ironically enough. I feel at this point, like, it was the main crutch of RTD1, you know, it's had, like, an extensive life in the expansive media. Time War Victorious, the Time War is a massive feature in that, like, I feel like it's had its time, you know? Shooty and Russell will make series 14 to 17 together and then dip. That's my prediction. So that's 14, 15, 16, 17. So you think 4 seasons. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I could honestly see, and I think I've said this before, I could see RTD doing like a Kevin Feige, and even when he's not writing it or being as involved, he could stay on as like a backseat kind of producer type role. I could totally see that. If the franchise gets as big as they seem to want to be making it with, like, you know, the supposed spin-offs and Disney Plus involvement and all this sort of stuff. But listen, I think I'm going to head off. Thank you so much for tuning into this birthday stream. Appreciate that. I'd love to see 5 as well. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you very much for sticking around. And I will see you in a bit. Take care. I'm just going to enjoy the last few hours of my birthday. Thank you, Matty. I'm going to enjoy the last few hours. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care. What do you mean the last time with SJ and Torchwood, they just collapsed a year after he left? That's true. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I could see him staying on as an overseer type thing. But anyway, bye. Bye-bye, Duggan.